Today, Cades Cove is one of the most visited areas in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Cades Cove was not always a place to visit for a day. It used to be a place to live. Over 100 years before the park was created, many families worked and played in the Cades Cove Valley. Before Europeans settled in the valley, the Cherokee Indians traveled through the valley to hunt the abundant elk, turkey, and bears. Coming into the park, if you take a left, you will come across a picnic area to the immediate left. Keep going straight to find a store that's open most of the year. It has vending machines, a campground, hay rides, and a restaurant, and you could rent bicycles. Bicycle-only days are every Wednesday from June 18th through September 24th. There is another store halfway through the loop, but it doesn't have food. It's more of a souvenir shop. Now back to the main road. There is one last parking on the left before you officially enter the cove. You could get maps here. There are several hiking trails in Cades Cove. The first one you come to is right past the parking where you get the maps at the start of the loop. It is Rich Mountain Loop Trail. It does have branching off trails, but they all have signs to guide you. The whole trail was 8.6 miles long when hiked as a loop. Sparks Lane is one of two roads in the loop that cuts to the other side of the loop. They are good if you want to exit the loop earlier, if you want to restart the loop from that other side. You come across it before you see your first building in the cove once you start the loop. The first cabin you come to is the John Oliver Cabin. It is the oldest structure in the cove. It was built by John for one of his sons named William as a honeymoon cabin for him and his wife. The next building you come to is the Primitive Baptist Church. You have to take a off-road to the left to get to it. Organized in 1827, meetings were held in people's homes until a structure was built in the fall of 1832. Originally named Cades Cove Baptist Church, it changed its name in 1841 and has gone by that name ever since. The next building is the Methodist Church, which is located on the right. The Methodists were active in the cove as early as the 1820s, but didn't have an active building until 1902. Hyatt Lane is up next. It is like Sparks Lane. You take it if you need to cut your journey short. The next and final church you come across is Missionary Baptist Church. Missionary Baptist Church started in 1839 when 13 members split from the Primitive Baptist Church based on differences in beliefs concerning missions. The church itself was officially established in 1841, but the current structure wasn't built until 1915. There's a right at Missionary Baptist Church you could take, which is called Rich Mountain Road. Rich Mountain Road is a scenic one-way gravel road that connects Cades Cove to Townsend. It is a quieter alternative to the popular Cades Cove Loop Road, offering a more secluded drive through the forest with potential views of Cades Cove from above. The road is typically open from April through mid-November. The next place is another trail, Cooper Road Trail. The Cooper Road Trail was a relatively easy trail that travels for 10.9 miles in one direction to the Abrams Creek campground. Elijah Oliver Place is the next cabin you come across. Built in 1866, Elijah Oliver's homestead would eventually include a corn crib, a smokehouse, a spring house, and a barn. There is parking for this cabin, but it's about a half-a-mile walk to the cabin itself. Abrams Falls Hiking Trail is the next stop in the cove. It has restrooms at the parking area. At the Abrams Fall trailhead, the path to the right leads to the Elijah Oliver Place. The path to the left leads to the falls, which is a 2.5-mile moderate hike to the falls itself. Although the Abrams Falls is only 20 feet high, the large volume of water rushing over the sandstone cliff more than make up for the lack of its height. Cable Mill Area Visitor Center is the next stop along the loop. It has a restroom and a gift shop. The gift shop is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and open every day of the year except Christmas. It is the halfway point of Cades Cove. It has historical buildings such as the grist mill, a blacksmith shop, and the Gregg Cable House. Personally, I see a lot of bears between the Abrams Falls parking lot and the Cable Mill Area Visitor Center. As you approach the Visitor Center, take a right to stop at the Visitor Center, go straight to see the Henry Whitehead's cabin, or take a left to continue on the Cades Cove Loop Road. The Henry Whitehead cabin is the next stop. The first cabin, or the back half, was built in 1881 by Matilda's brothers after her husband abandoned her and their son. The second, the front cabin, was built by her second husband Henry in 1898. Cades Cove Nature Trail is up next on the loop. The Cades Cove Nature Trail is a relatively easy 2-mile loop hike. It offers a chance to see diverse plant life and potentially spot black bears, deer, and wild turkeys. Dan Lawson's cabin is the next cabin. The Dan Lawson's cabin was constructed in 1856 after Lawson purchased the property from his father-in-law, Peter Cable. Some of the other buildings that were added to the property over time included a barn, a smokehouse, and a granary, which are still standing today. Tipton Place is the next stop. William Tipton, a Revolutionary War veteran, acquired the land where Tipton Place would later stand. He was the first of the Tiptons to move to Cades Cove after he was given a land grant in the 1820s. Later in the 1870s, Colonel Hemp Tipton, a Civil War veteran in the family, built the Tipton Place. The area consisted of a 2-story cabin, along with other buildings such as a blacksmith, a corn crib, and a smokehouse. The Carter Shields cabin is our last stop. The Carter Shields cabin in the Cades Cove was likely built around 1880 by William Sparks. While Carter Shields later lived in the cabin from 1910 to 1921, he did not construct it according to the National Park Service.